Hey there, did you know I'm 68 years of age? If you watch any of my videos, you would know that. But that means most of my friends are around their late 60s or early 70s, just a fact of life that we are surrounded by people a similar age to us. And I've got to tell you that I've noticed something with my circle of friends, in many cases, people I've known for many years, that once they get to their late 60s or early 70s, things begin to change for them. Most of the people I know in my own age group are overweight, either moderately or excessively in some cases, and nearly all of them have pills and treatments that they take for various illnesses. In matter of fact, it seems to be a fact of life for people of my age that your lot in life is doctor's appointments, pills, prescriptions, medical tests, x-rays, and more pills and more doctors and more. And so it goes on and on. And I just wanted to ask the question today, is that the way it's got to be? Should that be our lot in life as we get older? Should we just accept it, cop it on the chin, so to speak? Look, that was my situation just 12 months ago. If you know anything of my story, 12 months ago, I was in that exact same situation. I was at least 20 kilos overweight or about 45 pounds overweight. And I had a list of medical conditions that the doctor had given me names for. And I had a growing shelf of pills that I was taking every day in obedience to what my doctor had told me. But what troubles me even more than the fact all of my friends are taking pills now, it's the attitude they seem to have when they take those pills. Now, I'm not against pills at all, and don't hear me saying that. But I'm against the attitude that says, I've been to the doctor, I've had a diagnosis, I've got a name for my condition, and now I've got my pills, so I'm taking my pills and my life just continues on as normal, or as normal as it can be. We just keep doing the same things that we've always done. You see, just recently I had a friend of mine who I've known for many decades, and a guy about my age, I would say excessively overweight, quite obese in fact, and he's just been diagnosed in the last 12 months or so with diabetes type 2, and of course has other medical conditions that go along with that. But he told me that he's got his pills and he's taking his pills regularly, and he said, so pretty much life goes on. And he explained to me that every day that he and his wife do what they've always done. They go for a walk together, quite a romantic setting, I guess. They go for a walk together down to the bakery. They order a cup of coffee and have a big slice of cake together. And they do that every day, and they've done that for years. So after they got these pills, they just kept on doing the same thing. And I have this growing frustration within me that there's something profoundly wrong here. That's not the way it should work, that I've got my pills now. I'm absolved from all further responsibility. I've done the responsible thing. I've been to the doctor. I've got my tablets. I'm taking my tablets. I'm doing everything the doctor said. And, that's exactly where I was 1 year ago. And if I had have only ever done exactly what the doctor told me, I would be no better off today than what I was then. I'd still be taking my pills, I'd still be overweight, and I'd probably have a whole lot more conditions that hadn't been diagnosed back then. I don't know whether you can identify in any small way with what I'm talking about here. I'm sure that if you're in a similar age group to me, then you probably, I'm assuming that you probably understand exactly what I'm talking about and know that exact scenario, and no doubt experienced a little bit of that in your own life. So look, in this video, I want to give you 5, what I call fundamental pillars, 5 decision points, I guess you've got to come to, 5 points of action that you've got to take in your life to, as it were, to paint a different picture than the one that so many people seem to be just blindly accepting. Because I believe that if you will stand up and take responsibility far more than just taking a pill, if you actually take on responsibility for your life and your health and your well-being, and you're prepared to make some hard decisions and do something about it, I believe your life can be incredibly different, and the whole future scenario for you, your whole destiny can change with 5 major decisions, 5 pillars, as I'm calling them. So I just want to outline them for you, and hopefully they'll make sense. I won't spend too long on each one because we need to keep things moving. But I think there's a starting point, and this is pillar 1. You've got to get here. You've got to have a change of mindset. Something's got to shift up here in your head. And this shift only takes place when you begin to ask yourself some really serious questions. If you find yourself overweight, for example, the question is, do you want to lose weight? Do you want to lose weight? If the doctors told you that you have diabetes, for example, do you want to get rid of the diabetes? If you've been told, like I have, that I have a high CAC, calcium score, in the arteries around my heart, then I want to ask, is there anything I can do to reduce my risk of a heart attack? Is there any way that I can take responsibility for that condition? You see, the fundamental question is, friends, and listen to this. I want to ask you, look you in the eye and ask you this question. I'm talking to you. Do you want your life to be different? Do you want your destiny to be different? Do you want to change the trajectory of the life that you are on? It's got to start with these hard questions. Do you want to live a life where you've lost the weight, you've got rid of your medications because your doctor said you don't need them anymore, and you are experiencing new health and new energy in your life like you've never had before? Is that what you really want? What would it be worth to you to have your health back? What would it be worth to you not to be crippled up, not to be struggling getting out of a chair, not to be overweight? What would that be worth? Could you put a price on it? Would you be willing to do something yourself beyond just taking pills? I'm not saying don't take the pills, but would you be willing to do something beyond just taking those pills that would involve you taking responsibility for your health? You've got to get that. It's a mindset thing. It's no good just saying, oh, I'll give it a try. No, you've got to change your mindset. It's no good giving it a try until you've thought through your fundamental question of why you are doing this and what you're going to do. And you set your intention. You say, this one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of my condition. I'm going to lose some weight. I'm going to get my health back. And I'm going to spend more time with my grandchildren. I'm going to do that trip or whatever it is for you that you want to live for. And you've all got something to live for. So you've got to start there. Get your health back starts with a mindset decision. Pillar 1, that's probably the most important pillar of all for all of us because it affects not just our health, it affects everything in life. Okay, pillar number 2, this one might surprise you, but I've learned myself in the last 12 months just how important this pillar is. Pillar number 2 is education. You've got to become a student. Yes, you've got to begin to read books. You've got to begin to listen to YouTube videos. You've got to begin to enroll in courses. Now, why do you have to do that? Because if you bypass that, you'll never be confident. And you'll never have any knowledge that goes along with your condition. So here's what I think you should do. The doctor will give you a list of names. He or she will describe your condition with a list of names. And you'll come away with a list of names, and maybe you would even add to that list yourself because the doctor never mentioned your weight, but you know you're overweight. But look, I would get a notepad. Here's your starting point. Get a notepad and write down one-word descriptions of your condition. You know, make a list. Well, for me, 12 months ago, my list was like this. I am obese. I've got way too much weight. I've got extremely high blood pressure. I've got pre-diabetes. I am insulin resistant. I've got a fatty liver. I've got plantar fasciitis. I've got arthritis. My list was quite long. It filled up a page. But write those things down. Write them all down. And then what you've got to do is to use that list as a study itinerary. you've got to take each of those conditions. Take the biggest one of all at the top of the list, if you like, and start reading books. You know, we have got a wealth of information available to us today that previous generations never had. We've got a world of information and authorities and quality research at the click of a mouse button. Our parents never had that, but we do. We're the first generation to have it. We can access every medical study that's ever been written. We can read these studies for ourselves. We've got to do some research. You see, what I did when I came up with my list, I then set about to read books. Now, this is a pretty big statement for somebody that's never been a reader, but I read 40 books in the space of 12 months, all connected with my list of words that I had on that page. I listened to YouTube videos and I learned more. I was learning more. I was hungry for more knowledge. I devoured books, and this became my obsession to learn as much as I could. Now, the reason why this is so important is that it's going to give you confidence. You see, when you don't have any knowledge or education, any little thing that you hear somewhere or that somebody says is going to throw you totally off course. But when you've done some study and you know some things, you're much more confident in the decisions that you make. And you see, out of that knowledge will come the third pillar. And the third pillar is this, and that is to make a plan. You see, as you read the books, as you read that book on diabetes, or you read that book on heart disease, or you read that book on obesity, you're going to get ideas, you're going to get thoughts, you're going to come up with a plan. You're going to read something and think, no, I can't relate to that, but yeah, this is me right here. I can relate to that. I could do that. I could put that into practice in my life. Write it down and come up with a plan. You see, nothing happens in life until you make a plan. And that plan is not just a one-sentence plan. The plan always has sub-steps in it. You see, when I started the YouTube channel, I didn't know anything about YouTube, really, very little at all. But I had to come up with a plan to learn. I had to say, well, look, I've got to learn how to film. I've got to learn how to write a script. I've got to learn how to post. I've got to learn about SEO and keywords and phrases and all of this stuff that I'd never even heard of before. I had to learn that stuff step by step. I had to work my way through that to get where I wanted to be, making good videos on YouTube. But you see, it's true with everything in life, and you'll need to do this with your health and with your weight, your vitality in life, is to make a plan. You see, the plan might start off with a list of goals of things that you want to do, but under each goal, you've got to have some specific steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3. And look, what I'm saying here is you don't have to fix everything at once. You might just be overwhelmed by your list like I was. I was pretty overwhelmed by my list because it was pretty long, but I thought I've got to start somewhere. So I started on my weight. That was my key concern, and that's what ultimately led me to the carnivore diet, which I'm so glad I started. But you've got to come up with that plan with some steps under each goal. And they can be little steps. You know, break it down into small, doable steps. You can't work on 20 goals at once, but you can work on one goal. And in that goal, you may not be able to work on everything at once, even under that one goal, but you can work on one step. I'm talking about small, doable steps. Maybe you could say, well, I'm going to start taking the stairs instead of the elevator when I'm at the shopping centre. Or I'm going to swap out my Coke drinking or soda water drinking for mineral water or for plain water. I'm going to exchange my piece of cake for something that would be healthy as a snack. And you make these series of small steps and you master one. Now imagine if you could make one small change every day of your life. In 12 months' time, you've made 365 improvements to your life, to your health, to your destiny. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? But it starts with just making one step a day. So you don't have to do everything at once. Make some small steps. Identify what those steps are, but do them. Make them doable and mark each victory as you go and pursue this journey for all you're worth, because it's so totally worth it. That's pillar number 3. We've got 2 to go. Pillar number 4 is to change your circle. That is to change the influence that is driving things all around you. You see, every one of us is surrounded by a circle of influence. It's not just family and friends, although they're a key part of it. It's the things we watch on TV, what we read, what we think about, what the movies we watch, the things we take notice of in the street, the things we watch on television. All of these things are our circle that are feeding into us. And if you're living in a circle of negativity, of forces that are destructive to those goals that you just set, you're going to be in trouble. You've got to surround yourself with a different circle. Maybe for me, one of the things I had to do was I had to stop watching the news because the news filled me with negativity. And I would replace that half an hour of watching the news every night with going for a walk for half an hour. Just a simple change, but it was profound and it started to change my circle. Different voices were speaking to me. And you've got to put yourself in a situation where positive voices are speaking to you. Ideally, you want friends who are on the same journey as you. You want to be spending time with them because show me your friends, I'll show you your future. It's true. It's profoundly true. So try to build yourself a circle of positivity and support. Look for and find other people on the journey that you are on. Get creative. They're out there. Find them. But look, if you absolutely can't find them, join the online communities. Now, I know many of the online Facebook groups are filled with keyboard warriors and carnivore police and all of that crap, and it drives me mad and I get so irate about it. But look, find yourself a good group. Join our group, the Carnivore Pensioner. We don't have any of that crap. We have totally ruthlessly cut it out, and we just have quality people that I invite you to join that group and join our journey. And there's other great groups around, and if you want to know more groups, I'm happy to share them with you. But all of the things I'm talking about today are included in a book that I recently put together. I'll give you a link to it. I put this book together called Your Carnivore Questions Answered, and this addresses a lot of these questions that I've been talking about, not just relating to carnivore, but relating to major life changes with your health, your diet, and exercise, and all of those things. And it's just a deeper dive into this topic. But I've got one more pillar to go, and this is another really important pillar. It's the last pillar I'm going to give you, pillar number 5, and that is this: fill your life with gratitude. Fill your life with gratitude. You might say, oh, goodness me, it sounds corny, doesn't it? And I admit it does sound corny, but I'll tell you this, it absolutely works. If you can just include just 10 minutes of intentional gratitude in your life every day, you will be amazed that even after a shorter time as a week, how much difference it makes in your life. I just have 10 minutes a day. Usually in my morning meditation time, where I just speak it out. I speak it out loud, and I say, today I'm so thankful for life. I'm so thankful for hands that work. I'm so thankful for ears that hear and eyes that see. I'm so thankful for the grass I'm walking on and the house I live in and my family, my wife, my children. I'm thankful for friends. I'm thankful for, you see, you just speak those things out. And it is profound because what it does is it changes your mindset that we started off talking about at the beginning of this video. You start to think, instead of negatively, you start to think positively. You start to focus on the things that you appreciate instead of the things that you hate and despise. And your attention shifts onto the positive, and where your attention goes, focus goes, change goes, and things really begin to happen. So speak them out. And look, I've often found what is true in my life is that the smallest of things can make the biggest difference. A small thing like practicing gratitude can make a profound difference. Look, don't believe me? Try it for a week, just for 10 minutes a day. I'm asking you to just sit down quietly somewhere, reflect on your life, and be thankful for all the good things in your life, and you will change. You see, the secret to realizing, the secret to having it all in life is realizing that you already do. You've already got every blessing that you need in life. And it's so true in so many ways. So here's the bottom line, folks. I'm pretty much done, but you don't click off yet, or you can if you like. Doesn't matter. Here's the bottom line. I want you to realize this if you hear nothing else today. And that is that the person responsible for your health and for your destiny in life from this point on, at whatever age you are at, is not your doctor. It's not your family. It's not your partner. It's not your kids. It's not your parents. It's you. Nothing is going to change significantly in your life until you stand up and say, the person who is going to change my destiny is me. There is nobody coming to save me. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to get educated. I'm going to make a plan. I'm going to set that plan in motion. I'm going to be filled with gratitude. I'm going to do this. I am going to change my life. And you can make 2025 the absolute best year of your life. So look, thanks for watching today. If you missed my little 2-minute video I made just last week on transforming your life in just 2 minutes, a bit shorter than this one, I'll leave a link for it just up above here. But thanks for watching. Keep telling your story, and I will see you on the next video.